Where on earth do we begin with that then, Scott? Because that's probably been right up there with one of the best fixtures we've had this year. It's finished here at Plainmoor 4-3 to the Rebels. Last minute winner, from Leon. How'd you sum that up?
Yeah, really difficult one. My heart's all over the place. The emotions, I was really disappointed when it went 2-1. I thought that was a real massive turning point in the game, and I thought they were going to slow it down, they were going to defend their lead. Lo and behold, we found a way to get back into the game, which is great. And then to come from behind 4 times in a game to end up winning it, it just shows the character. I've spoken about it time and time again this year, what those boys not only give me, give the management team, but give themselves as well. And give the football club as a whole. It's just incredible. I think for me, I said at Bath a few weeks ago, that was probably the best win that we've had. But to win in those circumstances today is just out of this world.
So just going back to before the game then, just sum up to me, what was the plan going into this game and how did you, in your mind, see this kind of game going, I guess?
Yeah, so we wanted to try and emulate last week as best as we could, but no 2 games are ever the same. We kept the same shape. Obviously, personnel changed with me and Nashi coming out, Joe and Eze coming in, so no issues there at all. But we knew that we had to sort of jump on, obviously, the tough times that are going on down here. Without going into it, I don't want to talk about that. I think that would be distasteful of me, but we knew that it's been a sticky run for them, and we thought if we could try and quieten the crowd and almost get them on our side a little bit, it might help. And we probably didn't manage to do that until the last stages of the game. So yeah, overall I think it's a hell of a 3 points. We would have settled for a point when it went to 3-3, but Johnny Goddard's found a little moment of magic cutting in, and Leon's got his foot on the end of it. And I've not had a feeling like that in football for a long time. I feel like the games that we've won this year, we've had some great wins, but I don't think we've won in the last minute like that. We've been on the end of some, and I thought we got what we deserved today in terms of getting a late winner for the times that we've struggled this season by conceding late on. So I think in terms of shots in the first half, we were miles ahead. There was so many flashing past the post. I'd have to have a look back and see, but I thought we were good value for it, to be honest. I thought their goals were really soft. I was really disappointed with them. We won't concede 3 worst goals all year. A lot of managers say that, but I think that's the truth. I would say if there was a brilliant goal, but there's not one brilliant goal. It's a second ball that's dropped on the edge of the box, and the lad's shown some great quality. The second one was a long throw in, and he's got a free header in the box. It's just looped into the corner. And then the third one is a second ball as well, we've not picked up on the edge of the box. So they've not hurt us, they've not cut us open. And I felt like we did that to them at times. So yeah, massive result for us, and a great day.
So how much then do you, because as frustrating it is, because I spoke to a couple of fans after who said that both teams' defences were a little bit off it maybe, but does the pitch play a part in that as well? Because the conditions here kind of gradually got worse throughout the afternoon.
Yeah, it's boggy as hell out there. It looks great from up here. I've looked at it from myself from the side of the pitch, and I thought it looks really nice. But your foot's constantly giving way underneath. The lads in there are out on their feet, absolutely exhausted. So they've given us absolutely everything once again. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but we'll definitely enjoy the trip home now, get legs rested, get the feet up and come back in on Tuesday. But I think today was a case of who was going to make the least mistakes. And fortunately, in the end, we probably made a couple less than them, and we're able to capitalise on that.
You brought David O'Connor on as well. Just want a quick comment from you about the fact that he's signed now until the end of next season. Are we also looking at potentially a few more to come as well?
Yeah, it's great news. Love David to bits. He's been unfortunate to be out of the side because he's been good, but the shape we've played at the moment has suited us, and he's been a victim of that. So no issues there. David knows that he's a massive player for us, hence why he's committed till the end of next season. There are a few more that have been signed, but we don't want to give everything away. I think it's nice to sort of drip feed the good news. And we will be looking to secure some more for sure. But some of the lads like to obviously see what's out and about at times, if they could ever go full time, and that's great. We want players to sort of strive to be the best that they can be. So we'll sit down with a few in the next few weeks, have some conversations. But I know as long as they're here in a Slough shirt, they'll be giving their absolute all. But if we can maintain the majority of the group going into the next season, I think we'll be in a strong place.
And just to comment then on a departure from the club as well, McNeish Sandiri left to the shock of a few people, I think. Can you just describe sort of the situation that happened there and just your thoughts around it?
Yeah, so they put a 7-dayer in the day before the Oval game, hence why I didn't play in that game, because I thought he might depart on the Wednesday morning, and I thought it would be wrong of me to play him in a game where he might have gone the next morning. For lads that have committed to us that are going to be here till the end of the season, I thought it was only right that we played them. and then there was talk whether he'd go or not. Lo and behold, on the Saturday, I felt like we needed a win after losing 2 against Dover and Yeovil. And then I thought I need to pick my best team. So Nashi came back in, did brilliantly for us last weekend. And then he told me on the Monday that he was going to go purely because he thinks that they can get into the National League Premier. They're in a great position, of course they are. No bad feelings at all. Love Nashi to bits. He's a great player. He's a great friend of mine as well, and he will remain that. And if he became available again in the summer, I'd jump at him to try and sign him. So there's no bad feeling or no bad blood between us at all. He just said it's not anything to do with money, finances. We matched everything that we could. And he just went purely for footballing reasons, with our blessing, I guess, because he's such a good lad, and we wish him well.
Just to turn our attentions then back to this game, just want to go over any more scraps or potentially small injuries that might have been picked up. I noticed actually just before half-time that Matt Lynch seemed to have taken a knock, but still amazingly managed to finish the game. I actually personally thought he was man of the match today. He was everywhere. But is there any other knocks? Yeah,
there's a few little knocks and whatnot. We need to check how people are. We haven't got a huge squad. We've obviously had 3 players come on today, and we've had 2 EDS players on the bench, which is great. I think it's great experience for them. Keane and Alfie sat on our bench, and really, really good lads. Attitude is first class, and I think days like today, they'll probably try and aspire to be in the first team when they come down to grounds like this, which is what it's all about. So they'll enjoy the bus home with us for sure. But most importantly, obviously the fans that have come down here today, I want to mention them. I thought they were absolutely outstanding. The atmosphere that they created in the corner by our bench is brilliant. You can hear them for the whole game, and to celebrate with them at the end is really special. So thanks to them, massive effort to get down here, money spent, and we're forever grateful, as we are every weekend.
And just to finally say then, we've got 2 home games coming up against Dartford and Chippenham. Is this the chance now for Slough, as you've said previously, you've been frustrated by the lack of consistency in terms of beating those so-called big teams and like the likes of Maidstone and Bath, and then maybe falling to a defeat to Weymouth and Dover? Is this the chance now Slough can add a bit more consistency to their form and push on?
Hopefully, Connor. That's the thing with football, it can come back to bite you. Obviously we don't want that to happen. Our home form's been great, but we'll never allow the lads to become complacent. Me, Chrissy and Yella are huge on it. We make sure that we treat every game with respect. We always respect who we play. We'll prepare as best as we can, of course, but we know it's going to be 2 tough games. I don't know what the results were for those sides today, and I'll look obviously on the way home and have a look at them over the following week. But I think for us, I think another reporter down there that I spoke to a moment ago mentioned the playoff word, and I shut it down pretty quickly because I've said before, we know where we're at. We're punching well above our weight, I think that's fair to say, but we just want to enjoy the season for as long as we can, and who knows, if that takes us to the promised land of the playoffs, then great. But we just want to fight as long as we can, make sure that it's enjoyable for our fans for as long as we can, and just see where we end up.
Thanks again for your thoughts, Scott. We'll see you back at Old Park, and enjoy the coach home.
Cool, will I? Cheers, mate.